Got the fender off and it started raining again. Sort of crappy weather still. Did a little palm trimming yesterday. Got those looking a little better. Had all the dead palms on there. I got to do the front yard today. So we got that pulled out yesterday. Put a little video up tearing that one down. Got it up in the stand. And haven't heard back from this guy. Just gonna get a few prices. Write an estimate. I'm not gonna take it any further than this point. In case they don't wanna do anything with it, then they can just take it like this. So the case didn't look too bad from what I can see here. Flywheel was semi-tight and doesn't have excessive end play or anything like that. So hopefully we can just put some bearings in it and resize the rods, oil pump. It's going to need a used or a new cam and lifters because the lobes wiped out on one of the lobes is gone, which controls 2 cylinders. Got the fender off that truck, and that really didn't help me much other than I can get to the door to fix it because it's all double paneled right there, wadded up right where it bolts. So not a very attractive bracket for repairing anyway. I guess that's how they do it now. Try to cheat that out of there and straighten the fender and then spot weld that bracket back down after we get it straightened up. It's the best we can do with that. Had to take that off though to get to the door. It peeled the skin off, and it's got it hammered down pretty good right there. So I'm going to try the slide hammer. Give it a few pulls there with a big slugger. See if I can pull that door frame back around. The shell's actually bent, and get it off the crash bar. Might have to go in there and take the door panel off and cut the crash bar loose from the skin. Sometimes that's the only way you can straighten them. So they have the little semi-rigid foam that attaches the skin to the crash bar, and sometimes you just get in there and cut that with some piano wire, and then you can straighten the skin out. It's not attached to the bar, so sometimes the bar holds it down. But anyway, that's where we're at. We'll let it stop raining and maybe go get some lunch or something like that. Had to cut a couple wires from this light because it's got an aftermarket headlight with some strobe lights hardwired in. So we'll have to take care of that. Got some stuff moved around in here today. Moved the convertible into the booth. Get some primer on this bad boy. Prime the 1/4. I need to get the hood primed up and the rocker panels primed, stuff like that. I'm gonna go ahead and put some epoxy on it before I start crawling all around in there and welding the floors and sweating all over the place. So we'll get it in epoxy, weld the floors in, and then I guess this one's going back in epoxy primer. I guess we're not gonna paint this one. So got a lot of work in this, damn shame. So would like to paint it, but doesn't always work out the way you want it, you know. But that's where we're at on this one. So hopefully I'm shooting for this week, get this out of here, give me one more space, get it all on epoxy, get the floors welded in there, and then I'm gonna at least cut the inside of the car in with some blue paint. Cut my package straight back in and both rockers, and then paint the tunnel black, of course, with the floors. This got a lot of the sprayable seam sealer on it. I dug all that out because we were originally going to replace all this, and we decided not to do that. And we cut the quarter panel open down there and welded in a patch, repair patch. I think I did a video on that. And then we're trying to straighten the wheel opening here. It's pretty rough in there. We're going to bed line that. And they had it camouflaged pretty well before, and I guess that's what he wanted to do. I guess the bumper fit the car and all that stuff that he has, so we didn't get into cutting all that off, thank God, because then we would have been more upside down. So that's where we're at this point. We'll get this one in epoxy, and that'll be finished up. And then for the gray one over there, the chocolate, whatever, the 64, we got to repaint the chassis on that, and get the floors painted, and then I might pull the body back off of that to get the chassis straightened out and get it detailed up. I redid the chassis on this car, but it got a little bit of overspray here and there when we did the car on top of it, because I don't have a dolly to roll the car around on, and I don't have help, so you know, it had to be a roller. So I prefer them to run actually, but that's not possible with this one. So that's where we're at. We'll get that chassis off, get this stuff painted. I got a few dents on the other side that I found. We're going to take care of those. We got a little trick to try to get that door up on this side. I'd like to replace the hinge, but I don't guess that's an option. So we're just going to leave the worn out hinge in it and try to move the door up a different way. Hopefully that'll take care of it. Still got to do some rhino lining and the wheel openings there, the wheel wells. Get those all rhino lined, and we got to do a little paint work under the hood. So next week on this one hopefully, and this week on the convertible. So one spot at a time. I got a tow bar for this car, so once I get this done, Andrea can hook the tow bar to it, put it behind her truck, and take it down there, and they can work things out. So that's where we're at. Not a whole lot going on. It's wet, you know, working in the rain. Wiping my face with my dirty hand, you know how that goes. So let me go inside, wash my hands, and stuff like that. Greg was asking about the stuff that Hans used to build the stereo, and it's a Kenwood deck. It does have some power in the deck. It will play the speakers, the front two speakers and the back two speakers play off the radio, and then the amp is just for the sub. And this sub is self-contained. There's the sub, and that's pretty decent, man, for $160 for that sub enclosure with the amp. It has pretty good sound. It's got it tuned up for me a little better, so it sounds pretty good. But yeah, it's Kenwood radio with kicker speakers, and that sub there is a FLI. You know, that's an Australian product, and pretty impressive. You know, they make them smaller. They had a flat one. The flat one's $300. It was a different brand, and I saw the flat one with the self-contained amp at Best Buy, and naturally they're a little more expensive. Best Buy is, you know. So yeah, right now. There we go. So it's pretty good, you know. It's pretty clear, you know. I didn't want it real bassy. You can make it really bassy if you want. It's actually got 2 adjustments on it, so it's actually got a little bit of a adjustment to it. You know, you can make it rattle the windows if that's what you want, so you can adjust it for low or high volume. So right now it's adjusted for going down the road and not hearing the motor. So yeah, that's where we're at. I did work on this a little bit. I need to get this deck lid painted, but synced my carburetors a little bit. They've been out of sync quite a bit, actually a full turn over here on this one, and it's super silky smooth now. Runs really good. So we just adjusted the valves on this last couple days ago. Ended up with 3,000 miles on it. I think I put about 600 or 700 miles on it. I got those videos. We did a bunch of driving, and I haven't had Hans put all the videos together yet. We went all around Florida, hit all the springs, and drove around put some miles on her. So we're right at 3,000 first valve adjustment on the freshen up. So alright guys, looks like the rain's breaking a little bit. I'm gonna go and get something to eat. I'll throw this video up and we'll get back on this truck here in a little bit. I'll show you this door skin real quick, what we got to deal with. You can see down there where it's peeled off the shell. The shell's pulled in quite a bit. So we got to drive that back out. And I think the door is going to be easier to fix than the fender, being that it doesn't have any structure welded over the top of it. So not looking forward to the fender. The door doesn't look too bad to me. So although it is sucked in quite a bit there, I think we can get that out pretty easy. Alright guys, I'll get this one uploaded and we'll get the camera turned back on when we get doing some work on this. There's a ram with no fender on it. Pretty interesting structure there. Alright.